What about the guy who ghosts off and on, comes back with excuses, making it seem like it's the woman who pushed him away? I saw a lot of questions like this. So hopefully this will answer everybody's question who had a guy who's on and off, hot and cold. I know I hear from a lot of women who say that men tell them things like, well, you could have called too. You could have texted me. It goes both ways. Any thoughts for a woman in this situation?
Well, one thought is it depends on what kind of a situation you're in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So are you in a committed relationship or are you dating, right? And remember, anything that's not a committed relationship is still just dating. Exclusivity is still just dating. Him having you meet his parents, but you guys aren't committed is still just dating, right?
Yeah.
Anything where you don't have either a ring or he hasn't told you that you guys are, it's just the two of you and you're in a relationship and you're doing this together. If you haven't heard something like that, if you haven't had that conversation, you should just assume that you're still just dating, right? If you're still just dating, then what you should be doing is building abundance with men. Yeah. And you should be seeing other men, and you should be doing what I just talked about, which is the whole switch of your mindset, where you're saying it's not about this one dude who's doing all this nonsense with me, but it's about getting into this relationship that I ultimately want to have, and shining that light on that relationship and saying which man is going to step up to the plate and create that relationship with me that I ultimately want to have.
Yeah.
And then looking at these patterns, right? Because this is just a pattern that he has. He's just showing you his cards. And he's saying, this is a pattern that I have. Are you going to tolerate it?
Oh, so good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how you respond to that determines what kind of a relationship you ultimately get into in your life. Because if you decide that you're going to tolerate some dude that's disappearing and coming back and blaming you and, doing all that kind of stuff, then, that's what you're going to end up getting.
Yeah, totally. What you allow is what will continue, right? And we kind of tolerate what we think we believe we deserve deep down. So I love what you said a little earlier in this video, Matt. A woman who truly values herself is not this behavior will start to turn you off when you really get in touch with your own value and what you truly want in a relationship. Not this one guy, but what you want for yourself in your love life. This should start to turn you off and make you get bored and lose interest very quickly. So that's
I do want to say one other thing about it as well, though. Which is that a lot of women have a misconception about leaning back, right? A lot of women think that leaning back means that they should never initiate contact with a man, which is absolutely not true.
I agree.
That is not true at all, right? If a guy is investing a lot, he's putting a lot in, and he's giving a lot to you, he's connecting with you, he's planning dates, he's setting things up, he's taking you out, you can connect with him, and you should. Right? Because he needs to know that you're interested in him. He needs to know that you're into him, because that's the carrot. That's the carrot that you dangle out in front of him that makes him keep running towards you. That's what keeps him chasing. If he feels like you're not actually into him, he might just disappear on you. He might ghost you, right? And I get women that do this all the time. And they'll come to me and they're like, yeah, I get guys that ghost me over and over and over again. And I'm like, are you sure they don't think that you ghosted them?
Yeah.
So right. Good. And they're like, well,